Phare, the Cambodian Circus, grew out of Phare Lu Selpak, the brightness of the arts, which began in the 1980s after Cambodia's liberation from the Khmer Rouge regime, which left a quarter of the population dead and hundreds of thousands in refugee camps. Veronica de Cropp, a French artist and humanitarian, started a therapy program in these camps, providing art education through drawing and painting to support traumatized youth. In the early 1990s, 9 of her students established a school in their hometown of Batam Bang. Over time, this institution has become a multifaceted art school dedicated to improving the lives of disadvantaged children, young adults, and their families. Located in Siem Reap, the circus has become a popular tourist attraction, offering nightly performances that showcase the talents of the students in dance, acrobatics, and music. The performance we saw told of the experiences of young people affected by the atrocities of the Khmer Rouge, highlighting their suffering but ultimate resilience. The performers told a story that celebrated the triumph of the human spirit, similar to storytelling through ballet but executed through acrobatics. Their talented performance was both poignant and entertaining. We were provided with front row seats in the arena-type theater, and as the seats filled up, we were given aluminum water bottles. As we waited for the show to begin, Janice was greeted by a young man who turned out to be the fellow that was dancing with her on the cruise a few nights earlier. Small world. To keep these episodes around 30 minutes, I'll share only the main gymnastics and acrobatics highlights. For anyone interested, the next episode will offer a more complete story.
Hey, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, here you are. Yeah.
Cambodia's national flag is distinguished by its detailed representation of Angkor Wat, the largest religious complex in the world. Construction began in 1122 AD, and the temple was initially dedicated to the Hindu god Vishnu. By the 13th century, Angkor Wat transitioned towards Buddhism as the region's primary religion shifted from Hinduism to Buddhism. This religious evolution can be compared to the historical relationship between Judaism and Christianity. After leaving the bus, we walked past the 3-mile moat surrounding the temple, through the woods, and reached a historic guest house once used by temple pilgrims. Continuing past large termite mounds, we finally saw the famous temple.
Yeah, I just used that word. Okay. We just use the W center water closet. Right. Okay. And we are now in front of the Ramayana. See that? The Ramayana, the carving on the wall there. Ramayana. So we are here. And our plan is we're going to walk to see the carving of the Ramayana. And then we're climbing up to the second level, and then we're walking to the third level. Yeah, the third level. But the third level will be your choice. When you're at the stairs, you look at the stairs, you think it's possible or not possible. You can decide later. Okay. And after the third level, we're gonna walk down to the other side of the Angkor Wat. We're going to see the carving that tells the story of the heaven and hell. Heaven and hell. And then we're going to the churning of the Sea of Milk. After the churning of the Sea of Milk, we're going to walk down to ground level and then turn around to the other side. And then we're going to see the pond, the purple color there. The pond, where you can see the reflection of Angkor Wat. It's very, if there's no wind, you can see the reflection of Angkor Wat in the water here. And then after this, we're going to the west gate. Then we see the floating bridge. The floating bridge, walk across the floating bridge, and we're sitting on the other side of the moat. That's the meeting point. So 11 o'clock, we're meeting on the other side of the moat. Okay, let me show you over there. You see the causeway? Yes. People are walking over there. That's the causeway. Sometimes they look very nice. They look very shiny. You know? Yeah. So this carving, it tells us the story. It's a story called Ramayana. If you have heard about it, Ramayana. Yes? Yeah. Like at the festival Diwali. If you heard about the festival Diwali in India, the festival of light, that's related to the story of Ramayana. So everybody knows the story, right? So I don't need to explain. No, explain. Okay. So I give you a briefing about the Ramayana. Rama is the name of the prince. Rama, Prince Rama. Ayana means the journey of the Prince Rama. And this epic. It was written by the high priest of the Hinduism, called Valmiki. Yeah. And the story was written in the year 500 BC. It was in the Hindu text. Yeah. And they passed up,
The date again? The date?
500 BC. The story was written. Yeah. So the Khmer builders got the story from the text and they carved at the temple of Angkor Wat. Because Prince Rama, he is the incarnation of the god Vishnu. And this is a temple for Vishnu. So a lot of stories related to the god Vishnu. So the story for Ramayana, the Prince Rama, he is the one who married a very attractive lady. His wife, her name is Sita, S-I-T-A, Sita. So all the guys, they crush on her, yeah, and including the demon king called Ravan. Is the king of the demons who has 10 heads and 20 arms. So Rama, he's on exile to live in the forest for 14 years. So when he and his wife live in the forest, his wife is kidnapped by the demon king. And she's detained on the island which is called Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is the city of the demons, in the Hindu story. Yeah. So Rama, he's on India side and his wife is at Sri Lanka. So Rama is in the forest. He doesn't have any human soldiers to help him to get his wife back. So he allied with the monkeys. So all the monkeys in the jungle become his army. And then they build a bridge and then they start to declare war against the demons. So then the monkeys start to kill all of the demons in Sri Lanka. At the end, all of the demons get killed, and the leader of the demons, or the king of the demons, is killed by the Prince Rama. Then Rama, he gets his wife back, and they celebrate a festival called Diwali. That's the festival of light, or the victory over the darkness. So this is the story related to Diwali. Yeah. So right here you see the monkeys. So these monkeys, you see they look strong. Yeah, the body is human, but the head are monkeys. And these monkeys, they're not regular monkeys like we saw at Angkor Wat. These monkeys, they are ninja monkeys. Ninja monkeys. Like you have Ninja Turtles. The same thing, the same concept. Ninja Turtle in Hollywood and Ninja Monkey in Cambodia. Yeah. So these monkeys, they're pointing. They tell us something. See, they're pointing. They show, they say, look at that. You see the part of the carving there is the flame, the fire. See that? That's the fire over there. The story is, after Rama, he killed all the demons, he returned home with his wife to his kingdom and he's crowned as the king. But the people in his kingdom, they thought that his wife not pure anymore. They said, your wife would be raped by the demons, so she's not suitable for our kingdom. She has to prove that she's pure. So how to prove? She has to walk into the fire. So there's fire over there. So she has to walk into the fire. If she's not pure, she will be burned to death. Then before she walks into the fire, she prays to the god of fire to be her witness. And then she walks into the fire. But then the fire just turns out into flowers, so cannot harm her at all. So then she's accepted by the people in the kingdom. That's scene from the Ramayana. And over there is another section, also the same story, but this scene is when Sita is on the island.
This was the original stairway to get up to the third level.
All the ancient people were kind of connected somehow because we got the there's a lot of life.
She took off my stop and taking it out.
That's why.
No, you were probably like, weren't she? No, she was like,
This is up on the third level.
We used hearing devices known as whispers with individual earpieces, while Matt spoke in a normal volume into a microphone. Although we could hear him perfectly, the camera's microphone often struggled to capture his voice over the background noise. In this instance, he was explaining the Hindu representation of heaven and hell.
In Hinduism, people want to go to party, carry your body. You will still have suffering. Doesn't matter how rich you are, how powerful you are, how poor you are. You still have
Direction we're going to hell?
this is hell already.
Oh, we're in hell already.
No, I mean this carving, it shows the story of hell, earth, and heaven. So there are three registers here. This one hell, this one earth, and that one is heaven. It's like people are diving.
Show answer sharing.
This is the creation story, the turning of the ocean of milk.
Yes. It looks like a tug of war. This section shows the story called the churning of the ocean of milk, which is the Hindu epic, the creation story. And you can see these people, they are demons, and they are on the other side. Let me share with you the story. Once upon a time, there are gods and demons. The gods and demons, they die like humans. And the gods, they don't want to die. So they all ask the main god called Vishnu how they can live forever. So Vishnu tells the gods to churn the ocean of milk in order to get the nectar of immortality. When they drink it, they will never die. So the gods cannot do it by themselves, not strong enough to churn the ocean of milk for many years. So they ask the demons to work with them. And they promise the demons that they will share with the demons. So then the demons start to work with the gods. All of them here are demons. They are holding the body of a serpent like a tug of war. And those are also demons just standing there waiting for their turn. On the other side, you're gonna see the gods. Yeah. So they use a serpent as a churning rod. Yeah. And the serpent here, Ananta, to steady the ocean. Vasuki for the churning rod, and Ananta as like the tool to steady the ocean. And then they put the mountain in the middle of the ocean, called Mandara, the name of the mountain. They put it in the middle of the ocean and use it as the churning rod, like this. So the mountain in the middle of the ocean, and the serpent, it twists around the mountain. So when they pull the serpent, the mountain will twist the ocean. Yeah. And the journey takes so many years. This serpent gets exhausted and it spits the venom into the ocean. These demons and gods cannot turn it because of the venom of the serpent. So there's another god called Shiva. He comes to help his people by drinking the venom out of the ocean. Then Shiva starts to have blue neck, and his head becomes so hot because of the venom of the serpent. Then Shiva catches the moon to put on his head, and you often see Shiva image with the moon crescent on the top of his head to cool down. Yeah. And then they continue. Then the mountain that they use it goes down to the bottom of the ocean. So Vishnu, he transforms into a very big pillar to support the mountain. So the mountain rests on the back of a turtle. Yeah. Finally, the nectar of immortality appears, but it goes to the side of the demons, and the gods, they feel like it's dangerous if the demons take the nectar of immortality. So then Vishnu head transforms into a very sexy lady, like Lady Gaga, to distract all of the demons. Demons get distracted by the sexy lady, and then they forget about the nectar of immortality. So then Vishnu grabs it and he gives it to all the gods. The gods drink it and they become immortal. There's one demon is so clever, he transforms into a god in order to get the nectar of immortality. But then the moon god and the sun god, they watch from the sky, they know it's a demon. So they report to Vishnu. Vishnu has a disc, his weapon, to cut the demon's head. That demon has the nectar of immortality in his mouth already, but he hasn't swallowed yet. Body rot away, gone, but the head's still alive. He becomes a demon without body. Yeah, with the head only. He's immortal, but with the head. He's so angry with the moon god and the sun god because of them he lost the body. He eats the moon and the sun. He tries. But when he eats the moon, we have lunar eclipse. When he eats the sun, we have solar eclipse. So this is a story related to the eclipses because the demon swallows them, but he doesn't have body. That's why we have.
They come back.
So he spits it back out.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So now we can see the demon.
Although Angkor Wat was originally intended to be King Suryavarman II's mausoleum, it's unlikely that he was buried there. He died during a military campaign in Vietnam in 1150 AD, far from home and long before the temple was finished. Construction ceased. 27 years after Suryavarman's death, King Jayavarman VII restored the Khmer Empire, moved the capital to Angkor Wat, and influenced by his Buddhist wife, dedicated its new temple to Buddhism, and resumed Angkor Wat's construction, also Buddhist. Though Angkor Wat was neglected after the 16th century, it was never fully abandoned, and remains a Buddhist center today. Though never abandoned, it was, quote, discovered by the Portuguese in 1586 and later, quote, rediscovered by the French in 1860, and in 1908 they began a program of research, conservation, and restoration, with much work done in the 1960s. Civil war and the rise of the Khmer Rouge not only caused restoration to halt, significant damage was done by the Khmer Rouge troops using ancient wood for firewood. More damage was done by thieves in the 1980s and 90s. India took over restoration work in the late 1980s, and modern restorers have criticized these efforts by France and India as damage was done by cement and chemical use. The site was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1992 and declared a heritage site in danger in 1994. The Authority for the Protection and Management of Angkor and the region of Siem Reap was established in 1995. Today, restoration work continues with help from France, Germany, India, Japan, and China.